Now, in this video, we're going to discuss reasons why the lack of support for Devin Haney narrative is cap. Now, if you're not familiar with the word cap, it just means BS. So we're going to discuss that right now. So an article was written on Boxing Scene in which somebody believes that, well, we'll just read the title. Boxing's lack of support for Devin Haney is evidence of a soulless sport. So this is cap. Now you can read it in its entirety. I'm not going to read it for you. It's pretty lengthy, as you can see, but I read it, and let's just say I'm not on board with it. But we're going to discuss why this is cap. Okay. Now I'm going to give you some reasons. The first reason why it's this, where it says Boxing's lack of support for Devin Haney, I'm going to give you reasons that show and prove that it's not lack of support for Devin Haney. The first reason is he is who he is because of the mentorship from the Mayweathers. Remember, mentorship from the Mayweathers. He went to the Mayweather Boxing Club. I don't even know if he paid dues to go to the boxing club. If he did, you're supposed to pay dues, but he started going there as a young kid. He has video. There's video evidence of that. Floyd used to put him in his his documentaries when they would come and record him training. He would give Devin some camera time. Devin got to meet some of the best pro fighters in the world. Like when he fought Yorkis Gamboa, he posted a picture of him with Yorkis Gamboa back when he was a kid, because he had access to the best. He had access to the best fighters since he was a kid. Think about that. That's like a child having access to the best schools, the best education growing up. So when they get older, obviously they become successful in their field. Now, this guy had access to the best fighters in the world since he was a kid because of Floyd Mayweather. He also had access to the best trainers in the world because Floyd Mayweather Sr. trained him since he was a kid. You can go pull up the video footage on that. Listen, I'm trying to get to the gym, and I just let me just make a quick video real quick. But the point is, he had support from the Mayweathers. So to say there's lack of support in boxing from him is not true. How did he repay the Mayweathers? He didn't sign with Floyd. His dad admits on the live with Floyd, we didn't want no monthly. We want to be our own bosses. In contrast to someone like Gervonta Tank Davis, who I guess took a monthly, if you want to go off of what Bill Haney said, but it is documented that Gervonta got hand-me-down Rolls Royces from Floyd Mayweather and hand-me-down jewelry, and people used to make fun of him about that. But do you know how much a Rolls Royce costs? Go look. Go try to see if you want to buy you want to go buy, say, a 2018, 2015 Rolls Royce. Go online right now and see you're paying $200,000 to $150,000 for that car. That's even with 150,000 miles on it. So even if you get a hand-me-down Rolls Royce, it's still better than 85% of the new cars 2024 out right now. But people were clowning Gervonta for that. It's ridiculous. Hand-me-down jewelry from Floyd. If you wanted to just buy a simple rope chain, right, very basic with a piece, you're paying like $1,500. But the hand-me-downs you get from Floyd, do you know how much that's worth? This is the mindset of certain people. So Devin Haney didn't sign with Floyd. Floyd signed Tank. Tank went from getting monthlies to being one of the faces of boxing, to becoming a huge attraction. And now Tank is in position where he's really, really, really going to be a boss. His own boss. Because he's still under contract with Mayweather Promotions. And smart on Tank for realizing this guy, whether I like him or not, things have been going right with my career. Whether it's Leonard Ellaby that he has the relationship with now, and the reports are that, Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby parted ways and he's going with Tank. But still, Tank made smart moves. But don't say this guy didn't have support. He had the same support Tank could have had, but he didn't want it. He wanted to be his own boss. He went to, when they call him a private school kid, you know what? He was a private school kid in terms of boxing knowledge, in terms of access to boxing facilities, boxing coaches, sparring, everything. That was the support of the Mayweathers. So he was under the mentorship of the Mayweathers. And when it came time to put paper to pen, he told them to shove it. And then look at the way Bill Haney talks to Floyd. This is a reason why people are turned off with Devin. So that's one reason. Another reason is he became flashy instead of classy. Now, when you saw Devin coming up, go look at old videos of Devin. Look at how he used to present himself. Look at how he used to talk. At some point, he just decided he was going to become a bargain bin version of Floyd Money Mayweather. Then you just see him shopping for jewelry, buying cars, shopping for more jewelry. You know, we saw do that. We saw Adrian Broner do that. And then at some point, we saw Adrian Broner in court talking about he had $13 to his name. And then they say, well, how do you pay stuff? He said, my rich friends. So don't sit around saying this guy didn't have support. He had support, but then he said he wanted to be his own boss. And then I guess, he became his own boss. Now, he's his own boss. So he hops from Top Rank. He goes fights with the Zone. He goes from the Zone. He fights, like he said, oh, I'm a boss. I hop from them all. I go fight with Top Rank. I go fight with the Zone. I go fight with whoever. I'm my own boss. So he showed no loyalty to no promotional company. He showed no loyalty to Floyd Money Mayweather, his mentor, who supported him when he was just a kid going into the gym, giving him access to everything, including his trainer, his dad, the one who made him who he is, gave him access to everything. He don't sign with him. He doesn't sign with Eddie Hearn. He doesn't sign with Bob Arum. He just goes and fights with whatever person, because he's a free agent. So now he's down on his luck, and he wants Eddie Hearn to get him tickets to a fight when he just pulls up at 6 a.m. And Eddie's like, I got to take care of my fighters. And you see Conor Ben like, I got your tickets. What? So what are you talking about? Lack of support for Devin Haney? It's just not true, man. He wanted to be a boss. He wanted to be flashy. And let's talk about the flashy. When Floyd Money Mayweather was flashy, that's why people hated him. Because there are two variations of Mayweather. There's Pretty Boy Floyd, and then there's Money Mayweather. When he became Money Mayweather, he became the biggest villain in boxing. People wanted to see him lose. People couldn't stand him. He's flashing his money around and all this stuff. He was throwing money. He was doing all that stuff. People don't like flashy. The have-nots don't like someone rubbing it in their face and acting all, high in mind, whatever. So look at Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner was flashy. There are people who want to see him get knocked out. People who want to see him lose. Floyd Mayweather was flashy. People want to see him lose. Devin Haney chose to become flashy instead of classy. And that's something that played into people wanting to see him lose, in addition to him not having loyalty to anyone. So another reason why, people aren't really backing Devin like that is because he adopted the gangster persona. Not only is it money, jewelry, money, cars, what? for Devin, but now he's getting caught with the blicky. He walks around with all these bodyguards again, like he's Floyd. He walks around with all these bodyguards, and he got the blicky. Right? He's pushing Vasily Lomachenko at the weigh-in. He's grabbing Ryan Garcia's face. Right? Bill Haney saying, put the kids to bed because I'm sending my son in to kill him. I'm from the streets. We from the streets. Oakland, California, all this stuff. Rubs people the wrong way. And then no loyalty, No loyalty to Floyd, no loyalty to a promotional company. He's getting to the bag, he's flashy. Now he's getting caught with guns. He's pushing fighters at the weigh-in. He's grabbing fighters by the throat at the weigh-in. He's doing all. So now this thug persona, people aren't trying to see that. No, people don't like that, right? Then at the fair, at the neighborhood fair, Devin goes there and tries to punch a dude and misses, and then his entourage jumps the dude. There's some other guys saying Devin's team jumped him too, some Ryan Garcia fan. And when you look at what happened at Carnival, maybe it is true that they jumped the guy because he was a Ryan Garcia fan. So when you look at all this, that plays into a role why people don't support, or that plays a role in why people don't support Devin Haney. Don't just make it seem like people don't like Devin and it's a soulless sport. Man, stop making this dude a victim, bro. This is only hurting. This because I'm gonna tie it in my last point. I got two more reasons why people don't like Devin. The next reason is he aligned himself with the wrong people. He aligned himself with people who will never force him to take accountability. People who would make up excuses. You get beat up, oh, it was loaded gloves. You get beat up, dude test positive for trace amounts. Everyone knows it's most likely contamination. Andre Ward told him into his face. Eddie Hearn, the guy who was promoting him at the time of the fight, said it was most likely contamination himself. But this guy wants to make it seem like the billionth of a gram of ostarine that was in Ryan Garcia's system is the only reason he lost the fight. Right? But let's talk about it. Devin Haney said he was going to kill Ryan Garcia before the fight. He said that dude's on drugs. I don't care. When I beat him, just give me my credit. Because he just knew he was food. When I beat him, just give me my credit. Then he knew Ryan Garcia wasn't going to make weight. Instead of forcing him to lose weight or agreeing to a rehydration clause like Eddie Hearn said he wanted to do, Devin Haney just said, I'll take the money. Just give me more money and show up. The fight happens. He gets brutalized. And now we're all supposed to feel sorry for him. We're supposed to feel sorry for him. Especially us who understand drug protocol, how it works and everything. We're supposed to feel sorry for him. All the stuff this dude's been doing, we're supposed to feel sorry for him. And the last reason why people don't like Devin Haney is because he comes off like a crybaby. He comes off like a crybaby. He can push Vasily, fight Vasily. Listen, I scored the fight for Vasily Lomachenko. I thought Vasily Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. I stand on it. And I picked Devin before the fight. And I support Devin. I was rooting for Devin. It's documented on this channel. Go look. I started this channel around the time Devin and Ryan were going to fight each other. Go look at the videos. I picked Devin. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy fight, but I picked him. And I watched it, and I thought he lost. The same way I picked him to beat Vasily, and I watched it, and I thought he lost. And then this dude's a crybaby. He's going to fight Regis Prograis, and the rules where they're at, you can't rehydrate over 15 pounds. He comes in 24, 25 pounds, rehydrated, overweight, beats the dog snot out of Regis. And you can see the athletic commission out there in California saying, we got to stop this. He did the same thing to Vasily. He did the same thing to all his other prior opponents, but now he fought someone who was a little bigger than, who are not even bigger, the same size, because he still did his 25-pound rehydration. He wants to be mad about trace amounts of ostarine. The guy who he works with created the Clear, where he had dudes and males and females across all sports passing drug tests while doping and winning Olympic medals, winning batting titles, winning championships. That's who he's aligned with. And oh yeah, that guy just happens to be aligned with VADA, the testing company that said Ryan Garcia tested positive for trace amounts. You think we dumb? This is why nobody feels sorry for this dude, bro. Why doesn't Devin should have to come out and explain how he can weigh in under the 147-pound limit and rehydrate over 24 pounds the next day and still fight 12 rounds. He needs to explain that, because there's some sketchy about that. So anyways, to end this, when you talk about the lack of support for Devin Haney is evidence of a soulless sport, no, it's more like, if you think there's lack of support for Devin Haney, it's because you're clueless about this sport. And so this guy, Owen Lewis, whatever pandering article he was trying to write, whatever he was trying to do, yo, you failed miserably, bro. You failed miserably. You can't turn this dude into a victim. You can't try to make this about anything other than what it is. Devin Haney and his classless self. Because you want to make it about stuff. Any fighter who ever did the same thing that this guy was doing took their criticism. And I see people trying to make it seem like, oh, well, Bernard Hopkins sued. Yeah, he sued for money that he felt like he was owed. He didn't sue for battery, for getting beat up. You got to understand, this is why everyone can't be lawyers. Because you have to know when you're making an apples to apples comparison. Saying that someone sued you for money is one thing. Saying someone sued you for battery in a boxing match is absolutely ridiculous. That's like a football player suing someone because they got tackled. It's within the scope of the game that you consented to that involves battery. So unless you're going to show me a fighter who sued after, and there's a case out there where someone tried to sue because they fought someone who was on PEDs, and the judge ruled that you assume the risk. You do assume the risk. Anyone who fights Devin Haney assumes the risk that he's on PEDs too, because he works with Victor Conte. He's a snack guy, and you see him in the lab working with him like he's a guinea pig. So, look, at the end of the day, man, people need to stop it. The reason why no one's rocking with Devin is because after turning in a warrior-like performance, which he showed tremendous guts, grit, made it to the 12th, and in my personal opinion, I will scream this till it happens, hopefully. If Devin doesn't have to drain himself, takes Ryan Garcia seriously, and figures out how to neutralize the left hook, I think he wins the rematch. And I know I'm not the only one. Most of the people calling him a baby and telling him to stop crying feel the same way. We think he's a good fighter. Hell, he may even be great. Show us and stop crying. That's all I got to say about this, man. It's not that boxing is a soulless sport and there's lack of support for Haney. We know the real. You're just clueless and trying to push a narrative, and we're not buying it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.